Hello! It's a nice, dreary, rainy day on the trail. Raining, wet, gross. I got a haircut. It's not a professional cut, so it's okay. But it's okay. Yeah, it's pretty good. Pretty good. Today I want to jump right into it and start getting back into videos. It's been a couple days that I kind of took off for the holidays and stuff, and just the release of the book, and that's gone amazingly well. Super thankful for everybody who's already grabbed a copy and already gave a review and stuff like that, and it's amazing. The link's in my bio if you're interested in getting my new Sugar is Life ebook. Also, there is a new Sugar is Life Facebook group, also link in bio. Oh, slippery mud. And it's up to like 250 members already, so that's awesome. And it's really interesting and going good. So join those things, do those things if you like. The video today I'm going to talk about, which somebody brought up in the Facebook group, which I thought was a great just topic to talk about. And it's basically elimination diets and autoimmune disease and whatnot. And the general protocol for elimination diets is usually an animal-based diet, taking out all the fibers, taking out all the potential plant food triggers, things like that. And eventually people end up getting down to what's basically a carnivore diet. And it works, right? For most people, for a while anyway. It does work to eliminate those triggers and not really cure anything, but at least put the autoimmune diseases into remission, or just calm inflammation down and whatnot. But of course, then you're stuck in this diet where you can't really break out of it. You can't reintroduce foods. Anytime that you try to reintroduce a plant food, you'll get usually a worse flare than you would if you didn't do anything at all. And that's not healthy, and that's not sustainable. So then you're trapped. You're trapped in a meat and fat diet that usually becomes so disgusting and aversive that you don't even want to eat anything. And you start fasting and you're going long times between meals, and you think that's normal. And then you start crashing and burning, and then you find this channel, and that seems to be how it's been going with a lot of people. But he brought up a really good point, that this diet can be the new anti-inflammatory based diet for autoimmune. And I was like, that is really smart, because that is how I came about this diet just recently, to do it my way. The first time I did it was all carbs included, free for all. And it worked really well for me, but at the time I wasn't dealing with as much autoimmunity as I am now. And I was still dealing with autoimmunity back then. I was diagnosed, I think in 2014, with ankylosing spondylitis, which is a rheumatoid arthritis offshoot that is definitely triggered by bacteria in the gut. And most people say that carbohydrates, especially starches, are the cause of the trigger, but that's not true. It's the leaky gut that's the cause of the trigger. And then getting things through the leaky gut, mainly gram-negative bacteria. It rained a lot last night, as you can see. Very, very misty. Didn't affect the fireworks though. They were going off all night long. It was crazy. So yeah, dealing with autoimmunity pretty much my whole adult life. It started with the paleo and the fasting and the carnivore. I think that's where it all started. And then it was exacerbated by high fiber diets, like the vegan diet. And when I did the high carbohydrate diet, I was doing tons of fiber. And it just never really went away after that. And I've done lots of things to put it in remission. Currently my CRP, which has always hovered around 4 to 8 when I was feeling inflamed and working through that autoimmunity, was always around 4 to 8. Now it's at 0.1, which is the lowest I've ever had it. And I can feel that. My body is far less inflamed, almost to the point of non-existence. That's amazing. I'm actually getting flexibility and mobility back. One thing about rheumatoid arthritis is it can seize up your back over time. It basically calcifies your joints and your CNS in your back and makes them immobile. You become unflexible, rigid, and I'm noticing that I'm actually getting mobility back in my lower back, which has been pretty much almost fused for a long time, at least 5 years. I go to the chiropractor to keep it from getting completely fused, but it's very, very immobile. And I'm able to do more like cat-cow stretches and I roll my hips and stuff like that, things I haven't been able to do in a long time. So that's a testament to how anti-inflammatory this diet can be. And then, as he was saying, it can also be an elimination diet. Far better than carnivore could ever be. Because where carnivore eliminates all foods that are triggers, the problem is that you can't reintroduce the foods without severe issues ever again. In fact, the longer you go on carnivore, the more you destroy that ability to be flexible, metabolically flexible, and food flexible. You just can't eat after a while. You have to stick to meats and fat. And even then it starts getting whittled down to just beef and salt and tallow. And who the hell wants to live like that unless they absolutely have to? I don't. I want to be able to eat carbohydrates. I want to be able to eat plants. I think all humans should be able to eat plants. I think it all comes down to your gut junction, your junction function. Junction function. Dootin', dootin', dootin'. Remember that Schoolhouse Rock? Anyway, and I responded to him saying, yeah, it's a great thought. And you're right, because this is basically exactly what I did with this diet. Coming back to this diet, I decided to myself, if I'm going to do it again, I'm going to do it much more smart. I'm going to get a base down of foods that I know I digest well, like starch and sugar, and meats, chicken, fish, things like that. Somebody coming? Hello. Super friendly. So yeah, I'd get my base down, coconut water, things that I know aren't going to mess with my stomach at all, and then go from there, and then start adding in little things at a time and see how I do with them. I don't add in a whole smoothie full of fruit. I don't or different fruits. I don't mix and match a ton of vegetables and things like that. I just pick something that I like or that I want in my diet, and then I eat that and see how it feels and see how I feel that day. For me, my body responds very fast to foods that are triggers for me. So like I could get eczema really fast and easy. I could get inflammation comes really fast when I eat something that triggers my autoimmune disease. So flares and things like that come really fast for me. So it's actually a really good barometer of what foods I can and can't eat. The thing I've found on this diet, the more that I eat and the longer I stay on it, the more foods I can eat without any issues. And that speaks to me of repair of the gut, repair of the metabolism, which speeds up transit time in the gut, raises your digestive juices and enzymes, and raises your thyroid function. All these things that are necessary for good gut function. Anyway, another person. So yeah, that's what I've been doing. That's what I've been seeing in myself, especially. Don't worry, he's super friendly. And it's been working. And so I think this would work a lot with other people as well. Come on, Zeke. Once in a while on this trail, there seems to be the drunk person or two. Just what it is. Anyway, so yeah, I've seen that in myself. I've seen this in other people. And so I think that this diet could actually be the best diet for, one, elimination protocols, but also a diet that you can actually work with to remove the problem in the first place, which is a leaky gut. Leaky gut is very hard to diagnose because most doctors don't even want to admit that it is a thing. A lot of doctors don't like to believe that food has any correlation to gut health, which is the most insane thing I've ever heard. How could food not directly impact gut health? Once you get things like Crohn's disease or celiac or in my case, autoimmune diseases like ankylosing spondylitis, they begrudgingly say, oh yeah, it could be this or that, but don't change your diet. You don't need to change your diet. You just got to go on these drugs. And it's amazing to me that that's our system. So this diet could not only help with autoimmunity, with elimination to figure out what causes triggers and what doesn't cause triggers, but to, in general, fix the problem in the first place, which is what we're really after, right? We want to just be able to eat food. A healthy person can just eat food. It doesn't have to be just meat. It doesn't have to be only rice and chicken. It doesn't have to be this base bland diet for the rest of their lives. They should be able to go out. They should be able to eat a restaurant meal and not suffer. They should be able to eat bread and not suffer, unless they have an actual allergy. These kind of things. Everything gut related is a downstream symptom. It's not the cause. The gut isn't inflamed and leaky because of something. Well, it is, but it's not because of like the food you're eating. It is because your body is toxic and can't handle that food at that time. And it has a lot to do with your metabolism. This place is amazing. Waterfalls. Has a lot to do with your metabolism, your thyroid function and health, your gut motility, all sorts of things. Your inflammation markers. So one thing I noticed for me, especially on keto and carnivore, is that my inflammatory markers were sky high all the time. And I was like, why? Is that, you wouldn't think so. This diet should be an elimination diet, should be getting rid of all the triggers. What could be still causing these triggers? And then I realized, well, it's the inflammatory aminos in the protein and the excess protein in general and the inflammatory fats. The inflammation itself is the problem that's coming from these things, not just triggers in foods. The triggers in foods aren't the problem. They're just triggering the disease because they're getting through the gut barrier. But you have to eliminate the inflammation first to heal the gut, truly heal the gut. I saw Dad bod Sean Baker, not a bagging, what I can't remember what Cole even says, not a vaggin' baker, or whatever he says. I'm not a baker, vaggin'. I saw him actually say, he actually said, carnivore diet cures autoimmune diseases. And that is about as far from the truth as you can get. And very unprofessional of him to say cure, because curing anything You know, it's one of those things where it's hard to say that it's cured until it's cured. You can't just widespread say a diet's going to cure anything, especially autoimmunity. And I take a huge issue with that, of saying that this diet could possibly cure, or not this diet, carnivore diet could possibly cure autoimmunity in any way, shape, or form. I don't think it will. I think what it does is dampens the triggers. You get rid of enough triggers, you won't trigger your autoimmune disease, but it doesn't cause healing, because everybody knows, anybody that's been on a keto or carnivore diet, as soon as you eat a trigger food, you have a 10 times worse reaction than you ever did not going on the carnivore diet. That does not mean healing, obviously. If you can't go back, if you can't go on a carnivore diet, heal your gut, go back on a mixed macro diet, you are not healed. And a lot of those people just end up being like, well, I feel so good that I just want to eat meat anyway for the rest of my life. And that's fine, that's your prerogative. I don't think that's healthy at all, but if that's what you want to do to not trigger your autoimmunity, that's totally fine. But I'm just saying, there's probably other ways, better ways. I believe there's better ways. And that's it for today. I think that's a great overall message for this diet. I'm seeing other people getting relief on this diet from autoimmunity and from inflammation. There's a lot of people feeling less inflamed on this diet in general. And I agree. I feel less inflamed on this diet, very much so. So, that's it for now. Ziggy! Ziggy, look up! Sit! Ziggy, sit! Ziggy, sit! Ziggy, sit! 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 Good boy. He only sits if I got a treat in my hand. I mean, he would sit probably, but he's like, what you don't got nothing. You ain't got nothing for me. Anyway, all right, I'll be done rambling now. Oh man, 17 minutes. I was trying to make this short. I'm not a short video kind of guy, I guess. But anyway, yeah.